Uh, Welcome to the next episode of Sideline Sessions, where we have head coach Maddie Northcut from the Eagle High girls lacrosse team. Excited to have Maddie on. She's a generational coach here in the Valley, and I'm excited to share our conversation with you. Do us a favor, like, subscribe, share, and hit us up in the comments of anybody you would like to see on the show. Thanks for watching. We'll talk soon.
All right.
Episode number 16. Let me try
Wow.
again. Yeah,
Amazing.
amazing. Uh, we had to restart, folks, so I apologize. My sound was screwed up. So we're starting fresh here with Maddie Northcut, the head coach of Eagle Lacrosse. I'm excited to have you. Thank you for being patient with me.
No
I'm
worries.
old and getting lost, I guess. So
Just happy to be here.
welcome to the show.
Thank
Uh,
you.
so we I used to read off the bios, and after Jordan Trejo's being so long, um, I would like everybody else to do theirs. So, yep. So, but just to introduce you a little more, head coach at Eagle Lacrosse, women's side, Treasure Valley player, worked through the whole system here. Eagle High player, went to college. We're back and bringing all that information back to the girls today.
Yeah, back and better than ever.
Back and better than ever.
Yeah, I grew up playing lacrosse. It's been the like rock to my life. My dad played, my brother played, and all my sisters played. We are a lacrosse family through and through, and it's been amazing. Started my lacrosse journey in 2011 at the youth level, middle school level. I always played up, I guess, in terms of skill wise, which always I think I dedicate that to how far I went in the game, being able to play with the older kids at such a young level. But went and played in high school. Was a 4-year varsity player. Um, in high school, we won 3 state championships consecutively through my sophomore and senior year, and then my freshman year fell to a close second place.
Okay. Do you remember who it was?
My freshman year, it was against Rocky,
Okay.
and then sophomore year, it was also Rocky,
Mm-hmm.
and then junior and senior year were both against BK.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was a fun battle. Always keeping up with all the competition, and um, all of our friends were on every single team through club and everything, all the travel ball. So it was super fun and energetic. Some of the best memories I had in high school
Yeah.
were from lacrosse, and um, yeah, finished high school with an All-American runner-up and All-Star nomination. I was a captain my senior year. Then I went on to play in college at NCAA D2 at Regis University and spent 3 years there before graduating early.
Yeah.
While we were there, I had three, basically two, because of COVID, conference championships
Yeah.
and um, 2 appearances at the national um, championship, regionals, semis, everything like that.
Okay.
Um, and graduated with a all academic honorable mention.
Which is amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. I've made a joke before. It's one thing to be all American. It's another to be academic all American. Even more rare. And that's awesome. And graduated early.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You are
Well
not
done.
farting around by any
I
means.
really
By anything.
wasn't
Did you
trying to
even take
save
a
the moment.
breath? Yeah. Okay.
No, no breaths for taking.
That's the thing, obviously. Um, let's talk a bit about your recruiting journey.
Mhm.
Might be unique.
It is a unique story. I really wasn't part of the recruiting aspect my beginning to end of my senior year.
Yeah.
Junior year, I kind of was going through to recruiting tournaments and playing club and travel ball and all the things that everyone tells you to do. But honestly, nothing was sticking for me because I wasn't super adamant about what I was doing. I wasn't really reaching out to coaches because I got
Okay.
burnt out towards the end. And I was like, do I really even want to play? Like,
which
is it
happens.
worth it? And it's such a common thing that I see, even with players that I work with right now. But yeah, I committed my after I graduated my senior year in like June, with Regis, and I just kind of reached out to them and was like, "Hey, I know this is so last minute, but like I like your program, I like the school, I've got like family in Colorado, like this is a spot that I would really love to be
Hmm.
a part of, and a team that is competitive and high um I'm blanking on my words,
It's
but
okay.
high achievements.
Hmm.
And just a team like if I was gonna go play college, I wanted it to be with a team that like
Right.
was gonna teach me and grow me and all these other things,
Right.
and have opportunities to
Yeah.
have those
And have people ahead of you,
competitions.
right? That
Yeah,
like you got to earn it from them and
absolutely.
people that can teach you all the way down. So
Yeah, absolutely. I don't recommend my story to anybody in the recruiting process.
wait to the
Like,
very last second.
wait to the very last second and just hope that it works
Yeah.
out. Lord willing, like it did work
Yeah.
out for me, and it was awesome and some of the best years that I've had in lacrosse and even at the academic level. So
Hmm.
yeah, we're not the most generic, like, oh, I went through all these tournaments and I did all
Sure.
these prospect camps and talked to all these coaches. Like, I talked to maybe 3 or 4 coaches and then was like, maybe it's not for me. And then last minute was like, why not try one more time? And it worked. So
Yeah.
it's different.
No, I think it, and every story is unique,
Hmm.
and each player owns the story, however they put in the effort, right? So,
Yeah.
and if it's you've tried everything you can and you have one opportunity, that's not a failure, right?
Mm.
Like you have an opportunity,
Yeah.
or vice versa. Like I really didn't know and I was undecided, and last second I was like, this one seems like a good fit. I'm going to give it
Mhm.
a shot. Perfect,
Yeah.
right? There's no right way.
Right.
So
Exactly.
yeah.
That's what I tell everyone. It's like
Hmm.
my story's very different compared to, other people, but at the same time, it all got us to the same spot.
Yeah,
So there's no right or wrong way to do it.
that's right. What was the local travel team for you here that you were on?
In middle school and a little bit of high school it was Sawtooth
Okay.
lacrosse, and then true lacrosse was when I ended
Okay.
my like junior senior year. When true came out after Sawtooth was dissolved. And then Timberline kind of sprouted up, Timberline Lacrosse
Yep.
Club, which I now coach for, but didn't have the opportunity to play with. But my sister did, and she had a great opportunity, and that really helped with her recruiting
Okay.
aspect too. So
Yeah, they seem to be the program right
yeah,
now for girls lacrosse,
hmm
club wise.
yeah, we definitely. I'm saying we because I coach for them,
Okay.
but
And yeah.
I've been there for about 4 years now, and we do like um, make it a priority to make recruiting a higher
Mhm.
focus,
Sure.
especially for our elite level team. We usually put those girls that are
Yeah.
on the team, like, yes, they're the best in the state and like they want to travel, but and they want to play these tournaments, but ultimately they're trying to get recruited, and we put our efforts towards 100%, and we've seen the benefit of that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm hoping to do a club show where we just talk about um, club lacrosse, and we'll have, and in my mind, we have multiple clubs on at one time, and just kind of more of an educational thing.
Love that.
And so hopefully we can do that soon.
Well,
And
I do.
yeah, and that way I'm not getting given any club more time than the other.
Hmm.
So,
I love that idea.
but okay, so we come back, we take this experience. Um, I don't want to speed us through anything. Um, high school days, and then you're recruiting in college. A little bit about that college experience because there's that triangle, right? Social life, uh, athlete, and then studies.
Mm-hmm.
How did that go for you? How was that balance?
Um, it was actually a decent balance for what I was looking for. I think depending on the player, it's
Hmm.
different, but for me, it was everything I needed. It was an emphasis on studies of like you're a student first, athlete second, and I think D2 does a really good job of prioritizing that, of still having a high competition of lacrosse, but putting your studies first, and then the social aspect
Yeah.
kind of comes with I think the level of competition that your team in your program is in kind of
Okay.
deters how much of your social life
Okay.
is impacted, if that makes
No, it
sense.
does. And I think
Um,
understanding that maybe before you get there a little.
yeah, exactly. That's something that I was told, like, hey, like we do team camping trips and we have all this stuff on the weekends, and I was like, oh, that sounds amazing. Like that's exactly what I'm looking for. I don't want lacrosse to just like run my life the way that it maybe does at the D1 level a little bit more. And then I got there and we didn't do any camping trips because we had like practice Saturday mornings or something like that. But like that's just how the cookie crumbled.
Sure.
And it wasn't anything bad. I actually enjoyed it. And I think the fall semester was kind of our time to really be social and have go out and meet new people because the spring semester is so heavily loaded with lacrosse and lifts and practices and traveling for games and study hall, whatever it is on top of classes. So the social aspect I don't really look at that too much because I found my social group
Yeah.
and it was great. And it was just what I needed, but they were also my teammates. So my team kind of became my family, became my social
Yeah.
circle.
Hmm.
Which kind of happens anywhere you go. But then the academic side, I was really able to put my studies first, and my classes sometimes went into practice time, so I'd either have to leave early or come late, and like my coaches were totally okay with that. And you run into coaches that are like, absolutely not. And then you have the coaches that are like, no, this is why you're here. Like, you're here to get a
Sure.
degree. You're here to be in school. Like, and so I was grateful that my coaches let me do that. And
Yeah.
there were a couple days or a couple months where, yeah, I would miss a practice or leave early, anything like that. But it was awesome. The balance between practice and school was
Yeah.
doable, but it's definitely a lot of like waking up early, going to lifts, going to class all day, going to
Hmm.
practice, and then
Yeah.
maybe
At
like a
times it
film
can
session.
definitely feel
Yeah,
all consuming.
exactly. Yeah. But honestly, I wouldn't trade it for the world. It taught me a lot about.
How's the food at Regis?
Um, it was actually good. It was really good. My freshman year, they like
Pause makes me rethink that, but
I just had a really traumatic experience my senior year
okay.
with a raw turkey burger.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it was really bad. But
Other than the
before
raw
that,
turkey burger.
it was great. We had so many options. They had completely redone the dining hall
Perfect.
my freshman year going into that. So um the food options were actually great. Like you could have comfort food, you could have sushi, you could have salad, you could have, you know,
Mhm.
burger, whatever. And then they had like a little pizza brewery joint on the other side of the
Yeah.
hall, and it was
Because the
great.
food makes a difference, right?
It really does.
It
Yeah,
can be a mental win for like
absolutely.
after a big day practice or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And then like if the food is terrible that day or consistently, just
Yeah.
like
But it was
yeah.
nice we had like so many different options all
Yeah.
in one spot. So if you wanted something specific, you probably could get it. And but my favorite part was the dessert table. It was just like this
Fine.
giant platter in the center of
Whatever you can
everything.
think of.
And I was like, that's where I'm going after practice. It's like I need to fulfill the sweet tooth.
Yeah.
Everything I needed, it just even after a bad practice, I was like, give me a cookie.
So you worked hard, you deserve a cookie. Um, so at that program there, obviously high standards,
Hmm.
high execution, your coaches, uh, huge influence on you. And I want to get into talking about having female leaders
Hmm.
and how that's a little different than, you know, having the male coaches.
Yeah, my college, for majority, my college coaching squad, so to say, was all female except for my our goalie coach, and it honestly changed the aspect of how I understood the game more at the collegiate level because all of them did go on to play when they were in college. They all played collegiately, either between the D1 to D2,
Hmm.
D3 range, and it was more than I could have learned from even from like the goalie coach. He did a lot of defensive stuff that I worked with him on, but I learned majority of my stuff from my female coaches. And so that really set me up for coming back here and coaching at the high school level because I did understand how the game works from experiencing it from the player level at the high school and collegiate level. It's just kind of different aspects there, but overall there's certain things that like a male coach just can't experience because they can't play the female lacrosse game because it is different in certain aspects. And so it's been super awesome coming back and kind of stepping into another female position because Eagles' prior head coach was also female, Brett Packard. She played D1
Yeah,
at John Hopkins, and he was an
a little known
awesome,
program.
little known. Yeah, just maybe if you've heard of it, I don't know. But she was also a huge role model and a female coach
Hmm.
that I didn't know I needed as much as I needed at the high school level. That was going to set me also up for success at the collegiate level.
Yeah,
But yeah.
uh, that's great. Abs- Absolutely, needs to be shared more about how that matters. You mind touching on how, X's and O's on the field is one thing
Mhm.
with those female leaderships. It's the other is kind of just the in between the ears aspect, and how that there's a difference there too.
Yeah, I think female coaches in general have the ability to connect with a female player
Hmm.
more than a male coach can, just because we're also female. We understand all the highs and lows of emotions and the roller coasters that, one mistake can take us on or one high can take us on. And so it's been cool to kind of step into that opportunity a little bit more as the head coach here at Eagle of like my dad as the assistant coach can really hone in and like push these girls to past their limit, and then I can also kind of jump in and be like, hey guys, like it's actually okay, he's not attacking you, like this is what this means, and like here's how we're gonna go forward. And like it's just a way easier time to connect or easier to connect with the girls
Yeah,
um on like a mental state
sure.
more than just a physical, like I'm your coach, you're the player.
Right. It's a different relationship
Yeah.
there for sure.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, and maybe you can pick up on it quicker than like I can, or a guy coach for sure, right?
Yeah.
Who's maybe they're not in tune with it, and that's fine.
Yeah. Great.
So yeah, let's talk about that.
Mhm.
So he's been around a little, played a
Mhm.
little lacrosse, like your whole family. He made him do it. I'm assuming there was
No, it
no
was all by
choice.
choice. It was all by choice.
Okay.
We just fell into
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Just magically all
He just
decided to
like
play
we
lacrosse.
just fell into a stick in our hands.
Yeah,
It's
it
no,
just happened to be
yeah,
that.
it just happened.
So he played collegiately also at Colorado School of Mines,
Hmm.
and there's a story there you can check with your dad on about Blaster, the donkey, the mascot. Brother played a little club.
Hmm.
Sister, you said played.
Yeah, my sister played at Eagle, and then she played at Boise State under Jordan for a couple years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got some lacrosse talk happening in
Hmm.
this house, and now you get to coach with your dad, who also has been a significant coach at Eagle High for
Hmm.
years, and we, I- if I were coaching with my son nowadays, we definitely step on each other's toes in different ways.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I guess if I think about it, I'd be such a fan of being there watching my kid coach, and I'm sure your dad feels the same way.
I hope so.
I know he does. I absolutely know he does. And if he isn't telling you,
Yeah.
I'll be happy to talk to him. Uh, but let's talk a little bit about being in under a or stepping out and
Mhm.
creating your own shadows,
Yeah.
but at the same time, what it's like coaching with your dad.
I love coaching with my dad. I think he saves me on a lot of days where I'm frustrated, and then I kind of step up when he's just like needing to chill out of practice one day. So we really co-coach really well together. I think there's a lot of aspects of my coaching strategy that we're like perfectly aligned on because he did coach me for so many years. And I just kind of grew up hearing his
Yeah.
coaching phrases and all these things that I now into practice almost
Okay.
daily. But um I think the thing that really separates us is just our ability to connect differently with the players. Mine's a little bit more emotionally like deeper connection, and then he's able to still connect with them on more of not super surface level, but like it's on a level that the girls are like, yeah, this is what I needed versus like something I can't give
Sure.
them. Um, and some of that might just be wisdom because he has been coaching for so long and I'm still learning from him every single day that I'm out there. But for the most part, we really are just very similar coaches and how we handle ourselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, Coach Dadism. You got one
Yes. Um,
that shows up, and
yeah.
you're like, oh man.
Biggest one is for the attackers. Like if you're not moving your feet, you're doing something wrong, or you're killing grass, or whatever. It's got multiple different avenues you can
Sure.
take with it.
Yeah.
But since we play on turf,
Mhm.
it's already, it's
Throwing
you're
roots
doing
out there or
something
something,
wrong
right?
is
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
really
Okay.
nailed it into me when he was saying it to
Okay.
me on the field and in general. So yeah.
That's great. Um, Coming back. So, how long in between being done playing in college and coaching was there?
Probably like 3 months.
Okay.
I graduated and then my former coach, Brett, she
Mhm.
stepped down and she kind of knew that I was coming back earlier, so she wanted me to take over pretty early on, which
Um,
is cool.
which is great.
Yeah.
Wh- How was it adjusting? So there's a different, I don't know, it's a different speed, a
Hmm.
different, like you almost have to calm down a skosh. You
Yeah.
almost need a gap, I think, but that's me. So coming in hot and heavy,
Yeah.
just got done, and it's like, what are we doing here? Come on,
Yeah.
girls, right?
Yeah. It was definitely different, but it was super humbling and exciting at the same time.
Mhm.
Um, Before coming into this role, I did zero coaching whatsoever. I guess leading up to like that fall season, the only coaching I had was with Timberline, and that was my first year with them. And that was my first introduction of like, who am I as a coach? Like, what do I want to bring to the table for these girls? Um, and it was an adjustment, 100%. Like, I was so used to this fast-paced environment at the college level,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, like Eagle has always put themselves as the reputation of like like Brett has done a great job of instilling this mentality of we train like a college program, and it's very, very true all the way through. And I think that's why coming back, I was like, oh yeah, we're just another college program running at the high school level. Because for me, like it did feel like a college program from when I went from Eagle to Regis. The commitment level wasn't that drastic
Mhm.
for me because I was so used to it already.
Yeah.
So then I was just kind of under the like assumption that it was still going on that way, and it was a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Um, but that was the hardest part of like remembering that college and high school is it's a very drastic
Yeah.
level of like the speed of the game and like the understanding of the game, the IQ. So it's just been interesting all at once, but it was a lot for me to handle in like my first season. I remember just being like so stressed
I bet
all
you
the
were.
time. Yeah.
And I appreciate the honesty because
Yeah.
some coaches are like, nah, it wasn't that big of a deal. You just
Hmm.
kind of learn to adapt. And I'm like, no, it's got to be more for sure.
For sure.
Um, what was it to jump for you? So I know like maybe the drills, the practices were all simulated college expectations and
Mhm.
the X's and O's and those skill sets, but still coming in to college, how was the jump for you?
From high school to
Yeah,
college.
sorry, thank you.
Um, it was, I mean, it's always hard. Like
Mhm.
freshman year of college is hard on so many different
Right.
aspects, especially if you're going out of state from where you grew up. That like it did hit me more on like the time efficiency aspect
Yeah.
and less on the commitment level because I even in high school I was lifting, I was at practice, and then I have to come home and do homework for a couple hours. And then like going to Regis
Okay.
it was pretty similar, just maybe adding an extra hour or two of classes in film or
Okay.
classes in lifts or
What about on the
whatever.
field?
On the field, it was a very, very different speed of the game. I was very behind what felt like um, because Idaho lacrosse on the girls' side, it was at the time very different than like anywhere else in the country, and that gap has gotten closer and closer each year, I think. But at the time, lacrosse was still so small in the area
Yeah.
that going to college, I felt like I was like, I have no business being here. Like, what was going on in
Uh-huh.
the coach's mind of like, I can make it here. But after like my freshman or sophomore fall season, or sorry, freshman fall season,
Hmm.
I was like, okay, I'm getting it now. It's just that weird mental block of like, I don't belong here.
Yeah.
That really got to me more than physical aspect because I was physically
Okay.
and skillfully there, but I just didn't believe it.
That imposter syndrome comes up a lot, and
Hmm.
it continues.
Hmm.
I like to try to bridge how these sports are very similar to things that you're going to deal with later.
Totally.
And I dealt with imposter syndrome throughout my life, and yeah, it's one day you kind of just believe in yourself, and you're like, I
Hmm.
am doing this,
Yeah.
and it's funny how often you forget about it when it
Yeah.
happens again, but it's you're like, I don't know if I can do this, but you do every time. It's just the kind of like, can you make it through that time of where you doubt yourself a little
Yeah.
bit
Yeah.
and pull out on the other side for sure. So,
Yeah. And I think that's the biggest thing that I saw with like my freshman teammates that ended up dropping was like halfway through the semester of the fall and just being like, yeah, this isn't for me. And it was because it wasn't because they physically or skillfully couldn't keep up. It was just mentally, it was that block there of like, I don't belong here.
yeah,
Or, our arms completely bruised up because girls 2 or 3 years older than us
yeah,
have strong arms and they're just pounding us. And it's that
hmm,
classic, what you expect, but it's just different.
it's a little stronger than you
Yeah.
think. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And they know how to do it differently.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Very different from the college to high school level. Yeah.
so we come back with that experience, those expectations, standards, let's say,
Mm.
to a winning program already. You're there, you got your dad. You've been there, you're going on your fourth year,
Yeah, this will be my fourth.
fourth year.
Hmm.
So you're almost in like a full class now,
Hmm.
the freshmen that are now seniors. Let's talk about some of those, the pillars of the program that, and maybe they've changed a little bit over the time, or maybe not. Maybe there's a couple that are the standard.
Hmm.
Uh, Share those with me if you can.
Yeah. It's kind of like just four main ones that we try to instill in everybody, which is it's working hard, playing hard, having fun, but also like pursuing excellence every single day.
Good.
And then I guess the fifth one is accountability. It's the big one
Okay.
for us as well.
What, are those the same that you had for the most part when you were there?
Um, Roughly,
Okay.
yeah. Honestly, I can't remember
Sure.
which ones we had in when I was in high school. But it's always been a consistent expectation of like we're gonna work hard, we're gonna play hard,
Yeah.
and we're gonna have fun while doing it, while also like pushing this
Yeah.
level of competition and expertise, like IQ wise
Yeah.
in the game.
Um, what's accountability mean?
Yeah, accountability, we use it for lots of things, whether it be a team wall ball assignment or just showing up to practice every day, showing up to games, getting in your nutrition, all of that stuff, like the mental aspects of like if you are struggling in this realm and we've talked about it or we haven't talked about it, like what steps are you doing to help set yourself up to make the team stronger, not bring it down. I think that's kind of the biggest thing is if you're not doing your part to be the best that you can be,
Hmm.
then you're going to bring the team down
Sure.
and whatever. And it like you don't have to be the strongest person on the team, the smartest person on the team, but like if
Yeah.
you're not trying, you're bringing the team down.
Gotcha.
And I think that accountability aspect of like
Mhm.
my teammate is pushing me to complete this running session or this wall ball session or coming to class and keeping my grades up, like all that stuff is like your teammates are keeping you accountable, but also our coaches, we're all keeping each other accountable in that
Yeah.
aspect. Mhm.
Um, so out of those, let's call them pillars, what are
Mhm.
a couple non-negotiables? And it might not even be those pillars. It might be a couple other things.
Yeah, non-negotiable negotiables, or it counts twice for me.
Okay.
I don't need. 100% of every single day. Like, you got to give me 100% of what you have that day, but like your effort counts more than
Hmm.
what you can give me on the field, because I do know the skill is there. Skill can be developed, skill can be, um, adapted and changed. But if you're not willing to put in the effort, it's not going to do much for you. And I think that's the biggest thing is effort counts twice and your energy is contagious. Like if you're coming in with a bad attitude, your team's going to feel that bad attitude, and
Yeah.
it's kind of going to just bring the morale down for that practice and for that game, whatever it is. So I always tell the girls, like, non-negotiables, we're staying happy. I don't care how unhappy you are, like get happy, because it's just going to make you happy, right? If you
Yeah.
force yourself to smile, you force yourself to make a joke with someone, whatever it is, like something that's going to bring your energy up instead of just bring the whole team down that day.
Yeah. I love it. Sometimes, especially in myself, but fake it till you make it on
Yeah,
happiness, right?
exactly.
And it seems to show up somehow.
Yeah.
Um, you know, wins matter,
Hmm.
losses are hard, but there's something in between there. And I know there's bad wins,
Hmm.
and there's, hard to say. We say it, but there are good losses, right? Like where
For sure.
the team maybe clicks.
Mhm.
So what's in between there? What are you looking for? What's the space in between?
I think the space in between is a willingness to learn and adapt to things that maybe weren't working out if it was a loss. Um, like learning from, okay, this didn't work this time, so let's change it for next time. And that willingness to kind of reflect off of what happened, but not let it get you down, but just pursue that excellence for the next game.
Yeah.
And then the discipline to really stay honed in on that,
Yeah.
on those things. Even as a win, like there's going to be mistakes that we have in the game
Right.
that maybe didn't alter our win, but it could help us to propel or be stronger in the next game or next opponent, whatever it is. And
Yeah.
just that discipline of looking back and reflecting and then bringing it to practice and being like, no, I'm being disciplined on how I'm catching the ball, how
Right.
choked up on my stick I am on the ground balls so that I'm not flailing it everywhere,
Right.
like my shot placement, like whatever it is, whatever it possibly is, whether it's team based or individually, that reflection and that discipline to pursue that with every practice is kind of my biggest thing of like, it's not just wins and losses, it's way more of like, how are you adapting off of what you're given afterwards.
Yeah. We're up by 10. It's the fourth, or is it halves or quarters?
Quarters now,
Quarters. Yeah.
thank goodness.
Yeah. We're up by 10. It's the fourth quarter, and you're lazy on the ground balls, right?
Yeah,
Like, what are we doing? We don't need bad reps still.
exactly.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. It's a Yeah, there is such thing as bad losses or wins for sure.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
yeah, not compromising on
Yeah.
who we are.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think the biggest word I use over my last 3 years is complacency. The girls don't understand it until they understand it. Like, I'll just talk about it over and over again in
mhm,
different aspects. And like, eventually it clicks with them of like, if we let off on this one play, we're letting off,
right.
in the future. And like that, especially when we are up by 10 points, which with Eagles track record, it happens a few times in the season,
Mhm,
that the girls are just like, oh, well, we're just going to win this anyways. But sure enough, we get out on the game or to the field and we're
right.
playing crappy and they're actually beating us. And you're just like, okay, you're getting complacent
Yeah.
because you're expecting this win. Like, you can't expect that because everyone's going to be coming for us because they want to beat us. So if
Yeah.
you get complacent, expect to lose, is my
No,
vision
yeah.
on that.
No, I think it's a great, and it's
Yeah.
absolutely, I mean, that's the same vision every other Greek coach has.
Hmm.
So yeah, it matters
Hmm.
when people aren't looking, and it matters to yourself, and it should matter to your teammates, right?
Yeah.
Um, gosh darn it, your brain froze up on me.
It's okay. It happens.
Yeah. Um, with this early in your this is where I'm going. When you came back, you're excited,
Hmm.
right? Let me ask you this. How'd you do with the refs? Was there a
Mm.
couple things that dad had to grab you by the collar and pull you back? Did you have a get back coach in the beginning?
Um, my dad and I feed off of each other,
Oh,
so it's not always the best.
okay.
Um, there's not a season that goes by that we're not like one of us doesn't get a yellow card, if not both, which is frustrating because when we when we do get the yellow card, it's not that we're just throwing a fit to throw a fit.
Sure.
It's more because our players' safety is on the line and it's not being addressed equally, I guess, in that state because I am grateful that people want to take the time out of their day to come ref a girls' lacrosse game. There's a lot that goes into
Can't
it.
do it without.
Any game, right? We can't do it without them, and I am very appreciative of what they give us. But at the same time, there's a lot of refs in the um, refs association that don't like Eagle or they don't like a specific team and they ref according to that. And it feels targeted at times, and it's hard for me and even my dad and any of us other
Mhm.
coaches, like we're fuming on the sideline
Yeah.
because, our girl gets slashed in the head, not a call goes by, but if we make contact the wrong, like with our stick just a little bit to the side, we're getting called for things that just are not important. Like it's all important. A foul is a foul as is a foul, right? But there's also levels to those
Sure.
fouls, and if the big ones aren't being recognized both ways, is when we start to find those problems.
Okay.
And so it's a touchy subject.
Yeah.
Right?
I can tell.
It's a really touchy subject, and I try not to like every year. I'm like, I'm not going to do it this year. I'm not going to do it this year. But I'm also the type of coach that like, if my kids are not being treated safely, I will
Mhm.
absolutely throw a riot about it because their safety is my number one priority,
Yeah.
and it should be with the refs. And I think in general they do have that understanding, but it gets lost in certain aspects,
Okay.
especially depending on the opponent that
I
you're playing.
just so you know, Coach, during this little situation, you like sat up higher in the
It's
chair.
big. It's
Yeah,
big.
I think
It's a
it's
big problem.
we have nothing wrong with coaches having passion about their
Yeah.
players in the game,
Mhm.
and at the same time, I understand, you know, uh, refs are, need help too.
Right.
Um, I was going to ask you if you felt like because Eagle kicks a lot of butt that calls don't always go their way, but you just kind of went into it. So
I think that has an
it's like, hey,
aspect.
it's not going to make a difference. You guys
Yeah.
are going to win.
I
Yeah, but
definitely think that has an aspect.
okay,
I think, but
this is all
in certain aspects,
feelings and not factual yet.
um,
So
it's professional. I've got film. I've got
okay,
pictures of things that clearly did not
all right,
that were not called, and
coming
you
with
know, I
receipts.
have. I definitely have my receipts, and I have taken action as I've needed to
Okay,
keep my players safe. I'm not saying that Eagles
yeah,
the only like
sure,
team in the league that deals with
yeah,
this, and I know that refs are gonna make mistakes and they're gonna miss things,
hmm,
but it's also like to an extent of you're blatantly missing this call when you're right in front of them.
okay,
And you should be making that call because if it's the other way around, we're sitting in the box for 2 minutes, man down.
right,
So it's like, they're maybe getting a 4 yard penalty behind, we're getting 2 minutes out in the box. And it's like the consistency isn't there. I don't
hmm,
care like if it's there, call it. I don't care what team
yeah,
it's on. Like that's my
hmm,
opinion, but if you're calling it differently for two teams that are on the same
sure,
field, that's where I have the
I
issue.
got you.
And I know like I'm on the TVWL board as an at-large member, and it's just some of the things that I hear are shocking to me because it should be a level of training on both the coaches side and the ref side of like continued safety, continued learning. I think the biggest thing is sometimes we have refs that are teaching off of the 2014 rules.
Okay,
And they're like, this is the rule from the 2014 rule book. And I was like, it's 2026.
mm,
Like that's long gone. Like
mm,
that's not even a rule anymore. So like you got to know your rules before you're going to step onto this field and take control of the game. I
yep.
guess it's like I
Listen,
I
you don't
struggle
have
with
to
that aspect.
justify it to me by any
Yeah.
means.
Yeah.
I agree, and yeah, I've seen it both ways, and I laugh because been there, done it,
Yeah.
and I absolutely love when coaches get fired up.
Yeah.
Period.
It's
And
all the
it
time.
was yes,
Sometimes
and
it's
for right reason,
regulated,
yeah,
sometimes it's not.
yeah. So um, yeah, It's okay.
It's a fun battle.
It is a fun
It
battle,
keeps things
and the funny thing is
exciting.
like um, you have to coach in an extra way with those situations, right? One thing, player safety obviously is a significant thing.
Mhm.
It's the uh, feeling that, oh, we got to play this team and the rest at
Right.
times,
Yeah.
right? Whether they say it's real or not,
Yeah.
that's the vibe, and you have to coach through that.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
There's times where I'm like, I can't even coach what's actually right because whatever we do is going to be wrong.
mm,
And I think every team struggles with this. Every ref is like,
yeah,
this is the rules. I'm calling it by the rules, but then they don't help you to adjust. They're just like, that's not my job. Your job is to coach. And I'm like, I'm coaching the right stuff. So tell me where I'm wrong so that
right.
they can actually do it the right way when you're on the field. Because when you're not on the field, we never get called for this. So it's like finding that balance,
Yeah,
I
absolutely. And
guess.
this is just part of the deal for a coach. You're going to
Absolutely.
have,
Yeah.
I'm sure in college too, there was
Hmm.
games where it's like, what is going on here? And then others where you're like, hey, at least it's not us,
True.
so,
I Yeah.
so
Unfortunately,
always felt
personally,
the
it
other way.
feels like it's always against Eagle, but I
Okay.
know it's not the same. I
Yeah,
know that's silly for me to even say
I
that,
know.
but
It's fine.
sometimes it feels targeted.
We
Sometimes it's just like, hey,
we can say whatever we
like
want on
you
this show.
Eagles. It's true.
It's our show. We can do whatever we want.
It's
So,
true.
um, yeah. So let's get into more. I like to always talk about what's going right, and we're here.
Mhm.
So and then where we can improve here for lacrosse for on the girls' game here in Idaho. So let's give the refs a second, but let's talk about a couple things that are going well.
Yeah. Couple things that are going well. The growth is across the valley. I mean, in recent years,
Mhm.
it's dropped, but I think we're on the come up with more and more young youth players coming into high school
Yeah.
level. I credit city side youth girl side on that
Mhm.
aspect of really creating that travel team aspect that we haven't had on the girls side for so long.
Yeah.
um, Introducing that back into the area has been tremendous. At least for Eagles numbers, like we have the biggest freshman class we've had in 4 years.
That's great.
That it's really exciting in that aspect of the growth is booming. It feels like it's not, but then you take a step back and it really has grown.
Yeah.
Eagle personally, we haven't had a JV in 3 years now,
Okay.
and so that's been a fun aspect in itself of learning all of that, but that's a completely different story. What it really falls down to is that growth at the youth level that we
Hmm.
haven't had, that we've seen on the guys' side, that we're like, how do we implement that on the girls' side
Right.
more? And I credit TVYLL for that. I credit City Side for that, and I credit the club teams around the area that are like creating these opportunities for girls to
Yeah.
play outside of
Yeah.
just the spring season. I think that's the biggest thing. I think the level of play has also increased.
Hmm.
Um, I think after COVID it dipped and now we're kind of on the up of, we're seeing all these girls watching more college games, and the girls game as a whole is getting more recognition across the nation, and so that's really getting girls to be like, oh, what is this sport? Like
Yeah.
maybe I want to play, and
Hmm.
the interest is there. And I think even with the Olympics coming up, and lacrosse being in the Olympics, like that, all of that stuff is just kind of like creating that interest that we've really needed in our area for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I 100% the
Yeah.
WLL coming
Mhm.
and yeah. And when when I talked to Chris Lane, I looked up women's universities, colleges for
Mhm.
opportunities. And for some reason, I feel like there's a gap of information. Like, hey, there are 100 schools west of the Mississippi
Mhm.
that aren't club, 84 technically or whatever, but with clubs and whatnot, and JUCO or girls to go continue to play just west of the United States. And then there's like 540 in the United States. And I don't know if that information is shared or it's not talked about. Like,
It's not talked about enough.
okay, it's
Yeah.
not talked about enough, clearly. So, um, and I'm wondering if that gap of information is also because, and I've seen this on the boys' side where it's like it's us versus them of
Mm.
sorts as far as growth. Like, hey, we're doing great. Why should we, expose ourselves or put extra effort out? And there's like a lack of obligation to help others
Mm.
with the come
Mhm.
up. But I don't want to put words in your mouth or in the league, but um, how can we do better to bring up some other communities and other schools as well? Or is that even a thing?
Yeah, I think so much of it starts at the youth level. I
Okay.
think part of it is we don't have a ton of coaches that have played girls lacrosse that want to coach out here because it's almost non-existent or you know whatever, like they grew up East Coast and lacrosse is so big out there,
Mhm.
and then they move out to anywhere
Right.
west of there, right? And it's so much smaller, and they're like, what is this? Like, I don't even want to be a part of this because there's basically nothing. And it takes a special person to really want to develop that and be in the nitty-gritty
Hmm.
of developing the game just out west in general. But I think the biggest part is like really encouraging girls to watch
Yeah.
college games and go like NNU with their guys team as a huge achievement for them to go D2, like encouraging kids and players, whether guys or girls,
Right.
like encourage them to go watch that game, like when they have home games, and um, just overall putting out those platforms across
Yeah.
the board of like these, like this is what's going on, and this is maybe a sport that you haven't heard of or don't know much about,
Yeah.
but it actually is like a very fun sport and arguably the fastest game on 2 feet.
Hmm.
That it's something that if people just take a chance and like take 2 seconds off of
Yeah.
their baseball game or football or
Sure.
whatever it is, like just 2 seconds to watch, you know, 2 minutes of
Yeah.
a lacrosse game, I think that can just really enhance
Mhm.
the interest across the valley, across the nation, like the region, everywhere. I think just more
Yeah. And
outlets, I
and I
guess.
definitely think the guys can hold more responsibility
Mm,
and helping their sisters do this. Like show up to the games.
yeah.
Why not? What else are they doing? Go support.
Yeah.
Whether it could be a team thing, right? Like, hey, this
Mhm.
week we're gonna go pick and hang out, and we're gonna be fans of Eagle this week, and next week I'm gonna say it, we're gonna be fans of Boise just because we're doing
That's it.
something. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Just kidding.
But just for fun, right? They
Yeah,
have a thing where you can go and support and be that energy that
exactly.
bring it,
Yeah,
bring the energy, and then I think within week they'd see it come back to them.
absolutely.
So
Mhm.
uh, yeah, there's plenty of work that can be done on both sides,
Totally.
and we all hold responsibility in getting that work done. So
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is like stacking hands on it together instead of seeing it as like guys versus the girls and how who's going to compete. Like I think for West Ada teams in general, it's very different because girls are a sanctioned sport,
yeah,
guys are clubs still, and so like I even think about talking with Coach Nate,
yeah,
and he's like, "Hey, can we have the field these days?" And I'm like, sometimes, but like we really need it these days, and because all of our games and everything are on the turf or whatever. But we've been able to communicate through that and like
yeah.
talk about like, hey, you guys are playing on the turf this day, like let me know like what times, and then like we'll have my our girls come watch your game, and if you guys could come watch our games, like that could help kind of boost the morale and the cohesion of
Hmm.
two different clubs, two different teams, but also one program, in a way.
No,
And like
I agree
I
with you.
think that can be said, across the valley of like, yeah, our team, I make my girls go watch other girls teams. Like when we're not playing, I'm like after practice we're gonna hop over and we're gonna like watch this game, we're gonna cheer our friends on because the girls know everyone.
Yeah,
The girls
and
just
then
know everybody.
like the brother sister sports programs, right? Like
Yeah.
could be opposite season.
Hmm.
You know, boys lacrosse, girls volleyball, whatever,
Hmm.
same thing. But they can also be very cordial during the time. And I would love nothing more than the stacked varsity games
Hmm.
for all the guys or vice versa.
Yeah.
In fact, rotate them to where there's like a prime time versus whatever.
Totally.
That way,
I
not
agree.
everybody's getting shoved into where most people can't make it or something.
Yeah, I agree.
And it sounds, I know people are going to be like, well, there's some excuses will
Hmm.
come. And at some point, you can do this like twice a year. And if everybody did it twice a season,
Yeah,
man, it's amazing how it'll just become standard or normal.
true.
So,
Yeah, I think we even have a game kind of scheduled, a stacked game schedule with that with the boys this
yeah,
year. Of our Boise game is the same day, same spot as one. I think maybe their Timberline game or something. So we're
okay.
playing before, they're playing after, and it's like great. It's both of our varsity teams,
Yeah,
and like we're gonna stay after and watch their game. They're coming to watch our game a little bit before they have to go warm up, and it's like that kind of cohesion there. It packs the stands a little bit more, which is fun, and
yep,
then kind of just creates that community base
yeah.
that
I
sometimes
guarantee
gets
there's a
lost.
couple dads just dying to get that barbecue in the back of the truck,
Probably.
throwing on down and make an event out
Get a
of
little
this.
tailgate out
Yeah,
of it,
that's
maybe,
right.
but yeah.
Let's get into a little more about Eagle Lacrosse, and let's talk about the support that you get, and also how people can still help out more. I would assume that there's never enough,
Yeah,
right? So, and there's ways people can help that they're well beyond money. So,
totally. Yeah, it's been amazing. I think our girls program has been so blessed with amazing parents and being able to be a sponsored sport in West
yeah,
Ada gives us a lot of opportunity to have kind of first access, priority access to school facilities. And we're so grateful for that. We don't take that for granted at all, because we do know it can very quickly be taken
sure.
away from us. But I think for Eagle specifically, our AD has been an amazing support aspect to our program. He kind of like gives us everything that we could possibly need, all the resources we need, information, whatever it may be, to help us kind of have a successful program, successful sport in the area. And then alongside that, we have our parents that are just amazing and are just so willing to just dive in and help where they can, and whether that be setting up our games, like setting up the field or setting running the gate table or whatever it is, running stats, like anything like that. We just have so many parents that are just so willing to jump in and give us exactly what we need. And I have a really big problem that I'm really trying to break of um controlling everything, and like I am trying to learn to like
Yeah,
what's
it'll
the
get
word?
handled, right?
Yeah,
Just
like
trust.
pass it off to
It's a
other
trust
people.
thing, I
It is
think.
a trust thing, and I think I just want everything to be so so good that I'm
Yeah,
like I'd rather just do it myself, but at the same time I'm learning to delegate, and I've gotten so much better this year, but still room for improvement. But but I'm trying, and I think the biggest thing is like my parents are like, please let me like take this off of you. And I'm like, okay, okay,
sure.
but like give me some check-ins so I know it's like kind of towards what we're looking for, I
Yeah,
guess. But they're so eager and they're so excited to just be a part of it. And I think Eagle culture in general is a very like family-based community that Brett Packard has instilled since the very beginning of her like first year. Like I haven't had any parent issues. Like anything I get from a parent is like, hey, this is awesome. My kids having so much fun, and like we have a blast hanging out with the other parents, and like that's amazing. And they're like, tell me anything and everything I can do for you. And I was like, great, you can handle this stuff for me,
yeah,
and like all the other things. And it's just been super cool to have that support, because it makes my job as just coaching their kids so much
right. You can
easier.
just coach.
Yeah, and I don't have that stress over my head of like, oh, what's this parent gonna say to me because their kid didn't get X amount of playing time or whatever it is. Like they're all very understanding of their role
Yeah,
as a parent and part of our program, that it's so cool. And even my coaches, like other coaches, and working with the guys, like everyone's just kind of stacking hands together and like just trying to make the spring season the best that we can make it for these kids, because that's what it's all about. Like it's not for me, it's not for the parents, it's for
yeah.
the kids, and to create that environment,
Mhm.
and everyone's like so in on stacking hands on that, and that's just been like the coolest thing
That's great.
in general. Yeah.
Um, do you ever wonder, like, oh, I wonder if it was like this much support when I was there? Like, have you ever reflected in kind of the efforts and think back to, I'm sure the support was there.
Yeah.
But like, oh man, there's so many people that make this happen
Mhm.
that maybe a lot of folks don't know. Like,
I certainly didn't know
yeah,
as a player, and I think even players now don't understand how many people are backing them and supporting them. But I do look back on when I was in high school, and it's very similar. Like so much of what
yeah,
made our season so awesome was that like Brett was able to teach and like our booster board handled everything else, and that's how it's continued
yeah,
throughout the years, and it's been great. Like I
yeah.
just have no notes.
Okay. Well, I asked you where else folks could help, and you told me it sounds amazing,
Yeah.
but there's got to be a couple things that you're looking to get, and maybe being ambassadors
Yes, we're always
for.
looking for sponsors.
Okay.
We're trying to save up to buy a game film camera to
Okay.
just carry game to game with us so
Hmm.
that we can have game film for us to look back on and also to just help our girls who are looking to
Yeah.
play college. So that's kind of our biggest thing if anyone wants to sponsor and
Okay.
kind of help towards our fundraising for that. That's amazing. It'd be super
Yeah.
awesome to have that, but um, we're also looking for a new shed. We
Yeah.
are in desperate
Okay.
need of a new shed. It's like falling apart and it's infested with mice. I like every day have to go out there and put more traps and everything out
Okay.
there.
You're
So
paying for a new shed and the price of traps is what I'm hearing. So,
probably.
okay.
So we just need a new shed, a bigger shed.
I can get you a
Um,
cat. That's the best I can do. Get the
I've
mice.
thought about, I don't know if the school is gonna allow that, but I also
Yeah.
have heard through the grapevine that Eagle, like the district of Eagle, is trying to go into this like feral cat, wildcat
Oh, I've never heard of this, but
thing,
okay.
but maybe that was just a rumor. I don't
You put
know,
out a
but
you
it
put out
wouldn't
a
be
bag of
bad.
cat food out there. You'll
Yeah.
have a pet cat in no
Oh,
time.
for sure. There's so many cats in the area, for sure. But yeah, those are the
Yeah.
two big things that we're trying to
Yeah.
do, and we always ask for sponsorships to, have at our games and just to help promote our season and make it the best for our girls. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Legacy and identity. It's early in your coaching career for sure.
Hmm.
Early in general. But when couple things that when your time is up, maybe. I don't know if you've even thought about this, but you've had a couple great coaches. You get to
Hmm.
coach with one still, and the legacy that they left behind or leaving behind. What do you want? What do you want folks to kind of know where your little prints were on this program? You thought about that? Any goals? Long-term
Um,
goals? Let's call it that instead of legacy.
Long-term goals, I want to bring back the state championship title,
Okay.
Eagle.
Yeah.
It's been 2019, my senior year was the
Mhm.
last time we won state, and I think that's been the biggest thing on not only my agenda, but also the girls of like we want to win state and bring the title back
Mhm.
home.
You remind me. I know on
Mhm.
the boys championships are on the arch. Are the girls on the arch as well as you walk into
um,
the stadium there?
they should be.
Okay. If they're not, you better get them up there then.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm gonna go look.
Okay.
I'm definitely gonna go look into that. I
Okay.
actually don't know. We definitely have our banner hung up in the halls of Eagle High. Um, but yeah, I don't know if it's engraved. It's a good
Okay.
question. Um, but yeah, that's the kind of big one, but also just the fact that like I hope whoever comes and goes into the program while I'm here is they like know that they're welcome and they were loved and that our team felt more like a
Yeah.
family than it was a team. I think that's something that we strive to incorporate into our season every year of you should want to be here. It should feel like fun to be here,
Yeah.
not an obligation. And that goes for just playing the sport in general, but also just the people that you're put around. And that comes from us coaches building them up and putting that confidence in them and their teammates cheering them on and supporting them on just the highs and lows of their season. And I think that's the biggest thing that I hope they leave with. of the fact that they were truly loved from everyone
It's
in that
amazing how
program.
attached you get to these players, isn't it?
Yeah. hmm
Yeah.
Almost maybe too much sometimes.
Maybe. I mean, you
Maybe.
care, you go
It's
through
like,
a lot together,
yeah.
right? And then you watch them overcome
hmm
or pick themselves up, with your help, but of course, but like at the same time, like giving them the space to fail
Yeah.
and get back up and know that you'll be there, or when they can't get back up, they look
Yeah.
to you. Yeah, that's a lot to
Yeah.
share with somebody,
For
and
sure.
for most part, strangers,
Yeah.
that become family. So,
I think the togetherness aspect of what our culture
mhm.
has grown off of is the biggest thing that I look back on in previous years. Like last year, we sadly lost in the state championship in overtime at Boise, but it was like the most our team has ever been a team. And regardless, like it was a tough loss. I think it's always going to be a tough loss losing
Yes.
that type of game, but at the end of it, all the girls were like, "No, like look at how far we've come together." Like we had half of our team brand new, never picked up a stick before in their life, come up into the season last year, and we were still able to get it to second place. And like that is not just on the coaches, it's not just on the experienced players, that's on everyone stacking hands together and doing it together. I think that's the cool part of our program is we instill that from day one.
Everybody's got ownership.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
Let's do a couple fun, quick questions.
Sure.
Okay.
Great.
Favorite lacrosse memory as a player?
As a player in high school or college?
You pick both. Let's do
Either
more.
one.
We can
Okay.
do two.
High school, I think winning state championship my senior year. It was kind of a battle for all of our team, like the whole team, with injuries and all the other
Mm-hmm.
team and things that go into it. But that was like a big year for us.
Okay.
So that was probably my favorite. And then college, I just loved traveling with the team and just having that team bonding aspect.
Yeah.
I think the stronger your team is off the field, the stronger you are on the field.
Mhm.
And that was kind of the moments that really built us and brought us together. And like obviously we had drama, but I think when I
Sure.
look back when I look back on all my college years, I think
Yeah.
traveling with everyone was my favorite.
Was there anything on the bus that the team did that was like a game or something that you played every road game or anything like that?
I always made the
Consistent.
freshmen do karaoke.
Okay.
Blind karaoke though. So they
Blind
or
karaoke.
not blind karaoke, but like deaf karaoke.
Okay.
Like they had to just sing without any
Oh, a
instrument.
cappella of sort.
Yeah, a
Okay.
cappella, but like I don't remember exactly how we had it,
Okay.
but they weren't allowed to listen to the actual song. They were just
Okay.
supposed to go.
All right.
And
And
if
how
they
was
messed up,
that?
they had to go sit in the bathroom
Oh,
for like 5 minutes.
okay.
But
That's fine.
it was fun.
I've always thought those bus drivers are like just saints.
Oh my gosh. They're amazing. They were like our best friends. We had roughly the same driver.
Yeah.
So he became
Part of the team,
it
absolutely.
was fun. Yeah. I think that was my favorite part. And then we
Okay.
all would always have to finish our water bottles before we got off of the bus. We
Okay.
would play like the Thunder song.
Oh yeah.
We
Oh,
would everyone
AC/DC?
yes,
Okay.
obviously, who doesn't know that
Yeah.
song?
Hmm.
Stupid question, Maddie. But
No, that's okay.
um
I was making sure
we'd have to
there
chug
wasn't another
water.
one that I didn't know
We
about.
have to
Yeah.
chug water that entire song
Okay.
and until your water bottle was gone.
Okay.
I think
Just to get
that was
dehydrated,
always fun.
just to
Just
keep
to
from
get
getting. Yeah.
hydrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, our coach was like, "All right, throw it on," and we're like, "Okay." And they'd make us refill before
Yeah.
we got on the bus, and it was gone before you got off.
Favorite drill.
Oh, I love 5 on a die.
Okay.
5 attackers, 4 defenders are just working to get a shot on cage, and it is so much fun. You got
Yeah.
4 on the outside, 1 in the
Hmm.
middle, and just
Hmm.
whatever comes of it. It's
Okay.
my favorite.
It's your go-to.
It is my go-to. That 3v2 is always good.
Hmm.
Um, and then I call it the USA drill, where it builds up to a 5v5
Oh yeah.
from the midfield, and that's a really fun one too.
Okay.
Mm.
Game day ritual.
Um, as a player, I always had game day hair.
Okay.
I have my hair in 2 braids, and then I do bubble braids in college.
Okay.
But in high school, I would just have at least 2 braids. Didn't matter what kind, just 2 braids.
Okay.
And then as a coach, I always have to have my game day shoes. And that's kind of
Coach
all
Laney
it
had
is.
a game day shoot. In fact, she had a whole bunch of superstitions and rituals, but yeah, along with game day shoes.
Yeah, the fit in general as a coach, I think is my ritual. If I
Okay.
have a like I feel good in my outfit,
Mhm.
then it's gonna be a good day.
Yeah.
If I don't, maybe it won't be a great day. But
Okay.
like
You have a standard like old school khakis and a polo. Are we pulling that
mm,
off?
varies. It's usually like my coach jacket, a
Okay.
sweatshirt,
This is weather
like
based, but yeah.
yeah, weather based for sure. But I think on like nice weather days,
Hmm.
it's usually like a nice Eagle t-shirt,
Sure.
some shorts or leggings, and then I got my shoes really tie the
All
whole
right.
thing
Yeah.
together. It's
Just like
really
the
just
rug.
my
Yeah.
shoes. Like
Okay. You have those green
I
ones
have
on
them
right now.
on. Yes, I
Okay.
have the green ones on now,
Okay.
and it's great. I have multiple other ones
Okay.
that I just kind of rotate, and it's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about superstition wise then?
Mm,
Is there like a shoe you take out of rotation then if it's not going well?
no, I think my shoes have never failed me. I
Yeah.
think superstition wise in college,
Mhm.
I would have to always have my stick like at the end of my bed.
Oh, okay.
Not in my bed because that's
No,
a
I
little
got you.
gross for
Like
me, but
standing
at
up
the
on the
end of
yeah.
it,
Okay.
yeah. Um, I don't know why.
The
Just
energy,
worked.
the energy
Yeah.
come out.
And then in high school, it was always white socks. I always had to have white socks on. Every time I had a different color sock on, I lost or
Oh,
just didn't have a good game.
yeah.
So it was like consistently white Nike socks
Okay.
through
Makes
school.
well, they do make some of the better socks for that.
They do.
So
Yes. Yeah.
right there. Um, and then one team you'd love to play again, or would like to play against.
Mm, I'd like to go back to the NCAA regional
Mhm.
semifinal against Grand Valley State.
Okay.
Or yeah, Grand
What
Valley.
was what was it in particular about that game?
It was just an electric game.
Okay.
Sadly, we fell short, but we had them at the beginning, and I
Mhm.
think just it was just such a fun game. It was very back and forth. It was um
Winnable.
very, very winnable. Yes, I think we probably could have taken regionals that year. Um and gone to
Yeah.
nationals. But um yeah, I think it was just such a fun game.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone on the bench was ecstatic. Everyone on the field was like hyped up and kind of feeding off of that
Yeah.
sideline energy. So yeah, that was a good game.
Was there?
It's a tough one, but
I've asked this to a few to the guys I don't. Is there a team that was just spectacular at talking trash that you played against? Like
mhm,
where they were so good. I don't know if that's the same thing for a guy and a girl.
yeah.
Or you're just like laughing because you're like, this is amazing.
Um, Colorado Mesa was always a good one for us.
Okay.
And then Fort Lewis, the head coach at
Yeah.
Hawaii, she played at Fort Lewis, and um, that was always fun. Like
Okay.
I think I think it was an aspect of we had so many players on both teams that knew each other,
Oh yeah.
whether it was like familiar,
Hmm.
like familial, or just like old teammates from like high school.
Okay.
And so it was really fun playing
Yeah.
Fort Lewis, I think, for the most part, because we just fool around. Like Fort
Sure.
Lewis knew they were gonna lose to Regis. I think
Okay.
we knew we were gonna
So we're
both
gonna have a good time.
water. So it was a good like time
Good time
on both.
swinging for the most part for those guys. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think Abby would say the same thing if she was ever asked. Like, it was
Okay.
fun to play Regis, but they absolutely knew that they were gonna lose and low key be obliterated. But
Okay.
that's always
Yeah.
been a fun one.
Okay. And then because I'm always looking for music, favorite band or artist right now? You got one?
Um, I really listen to Cody Johnson a lot.
Okay.
It's like my go-to, and Forrest Frank.
Okay. I'm writing them down. Force Frank.
Forrest Frank, yeah.
Forrest Frank. Okay. Coach, what else you got? We'll wrap this up. Going good?
I'm feeling great.
Okay. Season's going to be
Hopefully a good one.
okay.
I hope we can take state this year.
Any players you want to shout out? Quick, they're looking forward to seeing. I don't know if I'll get a preseason show back in, so this is your chance.
Yeah, shout out my senior, Taylor Archer. She's our one and only senior right now.
Oh,
Um,
senior night's going to go
Senior
quick.
night's gonna go crazy. So Taylor Day. But also just all I don't know, all the girls.
Okay,
Yeah. It's
sounds
gonna be a
great.
great year. I'm excited. It's
Yeah,
gonna be awesome and
I look forward to it.
yeah,
Okay,
can't wait.
Coach, thank you for making time.
Thank you.
Excited to
It's been a
see
blast.
how Eagle does this year. So,
Thanks.
okay,
Yeah.
thanks.